Welcome to another short tutorial on Smart and OptiCloud. Today we're going to get a smartMINI up and running. That means we'll take a look at the first steps with the smartMINI and how to connect the smartMINI. With the OptiCloud, we'll deliver the first measurement data there. Let's get started. So we have the OptiControl software open in the background. This is the configuration software for our devices. In the bottom right, we can see the video from the smartMINI. We've connected an LTE and GPS antenna to the smartMINI, and the device is connected to the same network as the PC via Ethernet. Additionally, there's another device, a smart rail, connected to the same network. The OptiControl software is a great way to modify the devices. It finds all devices that are on the local network with a device search that runs over UDP. This means that devices that are on a different search network will also be found. And so we find two devices here, the smartMINI and the smart rail. When I click on the smartMINI, the configuration interface opens up with the settings area and the application software, the smart core. We already find various information, serial numbers, software versions, and so on. But first we want to reset the device to factory settings so that we have a clear starting point. We'll do that with the command, a clear starting situation. We'll do that with the command system o factory reset. There we also need to pass the serial number of the device as an argument so that the command isn't accidentally executed. So now the device is restarting and going back to factory settings. We can observe this here by looking at the blinking LED. It's now blinking steadily, which means that the device is in the boot process. And when the boot process is complete, the blinking changes to a heartbeat rhythm, a heartbeat blinking, and then we can connect to the device again. So now you can see that the blinking has changed to this heartbeat rhythm, and we can perform another device search. Two devices are found again. This time, however, a device with the name unknown, and the IP address is 10.20.30.40. This is the factory setting of the IP address of a smartMINI. And even though the device is no longer in the same logical subnet, we can still connect to it. Connect. The interface gives us a hint that the device is not in the same subnet as the PC is, but we have the option to open a configuration interface directly and can now enter an IP address for the device. Here we can either activate DHCP if we have a DHCP server in the network, or we can manually enter a address 1. I'll do that now, and I'll assign the device the N digit, what you like. And I'll also enter a gateway so that the smartMINI can connect to the internet. So that's the address of my gateway server. And with the red arrow, I'm writing these new settings into the device. And I get a message here that it was successfully completed. And now we actually have a device here with the IP address 49 at the end. That's our smartMINI. I can click on that again now, and then I get full access to the device, just like we saw earlier. So here in the settings area, we have various information. We can set the device names here. We see the serial number, production date, and firmware versions. We can configure network adapters, and we could also reconfigure here if we want to assign a different IP address. We can set up a virtual LAN, Wi-Fi networks, and activate our modem. Set up a hotspot, or configure the cloud server, and that's what we want to do next. We just click on the plus sign here and get a new cloud service. A URL is already preset, namely dashboard, OptiCloud, and an access token that authenticates the device with the cloud. It's preset to the serial number, but we will first set up the device in the cloud. For that, we switch to the cloud interface, URL dashboard, optiCloud IO. And here on the left side, we have our menu, our control center, and there is the device section. And there we will now add a new device with the add button. We can give it a name. I'll call it that, smartMINI 49. Then a device type, which you can actually choose freely. Here, I've already set some up. And I'll take this one here, home device. You could add a drawing for the device to attach for the device. Mini 49. I'll choose the same name. A description, we have a tutorial here. Then I get a summary again and confirm it. And now I've set up the device here in the cloud. Now we still need to take care of the credentials, so the authentication. For this reason, we go into Open Details here and scroll all the way down, Security. And here we find a section for access token. Let's go in there. We already have an access token here, but we can also generate a new one with Generate Access Token. This is our access token. Now we simply copy it to the clipboard, safely save everything, and go back to our OptiControl software. And enter it here under Access Token. And save these settings in the device. So the device will restart again. So we wait here again until it transitions into this steady blinking heartbeat rhythm. And then we can reconnect to the device. This heartbeat rhythm. And then we can reconnect to the device. So the device has restarted. We're doing a device search again, connecting to the device. And we get our configuration interface back. Let's take a look in the cloud area. And it says status. Okay. So we have successfully connected to the cloud. Then let's take a look at that on the cloud side. I'm switching back to the cloud. And now we're going into that area, latest telemetry. And we see that data has already been sent from the device to the cloud. These are information from our device service. So here we can immediately see which firmware is installed. And more information. And we have connected the smartMINI to the cloud. So in the next step, we can configure measurement data that we will send to the cloud. For that, we need to configure our smart core. We're going back into the OptiControl. And now we select the smart core area. The smart core comes pre-installed from the factory and already includes some initial modules. So we have very little left to do. We're opening the OptiCloud module here under the modules. The URL is already pre-configured. There, dashboard opticloud.io. But we also need our access token here. That means we also copy the access token in here. And we're already done. We save the settings on the device. The smart core is restarting. And now let's take a look back at the cloud. And we see that we now have significantly more signals. I'm sorting them here by the key. We have status information here, system channels, so diagnostic channels, and also a function generator that provides me with a sin, sawtooth, and square wave signal. And you can see data is actually coming from measurement data in the cloud. Yeah, where are they coming from? They come from the OptiControl, because here we have already pre-installed a function generator in the smart core. and it generates these signals. Yes, that was everything. In just a few steps, we configured a smartMINI, set up in the cloud, and connected to the cloud. And yes, thank you very much for your attention. Until next time.